Long day driving today. It's in San Antonio, Texas, at the Holiday Inn Express, one of like 7 of them in this big old city. Cool light bar, headboard. I did get my stimulus the other day, and I spent it, or not all of it, but some of it on a vacation package through Holiday Inn Express, or the group that it works, the international group, or whatever they call it. Anyway, and I'm going to Galveston, Texas, which is 258 miles away from San Antonio. Gonna be doing that the next couple days here, and then about on the probably like January 4th or so, I'm gonna be checking in either to the resort or the Holiday Inn Express on Galveston Island for 4 days, and gonna attend some timeshare property talk thingy. And the idea is I paid $200 up front, and then I listen to some talks, and I take this like island tour bus thingy, and they show the resort off and all that stuff, and it should include food and all that crap she said. And anyway, 4 days worth of that, and you pay $200 ahead of time, and then at the end of it, you can get cash back, or you can put it back toward credit toward on the rewards program for the IHE property line. So I might just put it back toward, and there's supposedly another free night out of the deal if I did that. So the 4 nights might turn into like, I don't know, 9 nights or 8 nights or something like that. Counting tonight, I should have a total of like 8 or 9 stays, I think. Starting into the new year. Well, not counting tonight, I guess, because tonight's in the old year, so to speak. But I'm gonna, if I get past 7 stays, I'm gonna go past the basic membership level for the rewards program for Holiday Inn Express. Well, that group, the international group, or they call it that chain, and into the next higher up level, and then this vacation package thingy. And after that, they're gonna look into doing a status match with my choice hotels top tier status to at least the second highest, if not the highest, version of the rewards program for International Hotels Group, or what they call it, the IHG brand of hotels. So I'm trying to work the IHG version part of 2021, and I'm gonna, toward the end of 2021, gonna work up the Hilton line. The idea being I want to eventually get to top tier all across the board at the major brand hotels. I'm not gonna worry about the small brand hotels like Drury, and there's a couple other ones that only have like one hotel in each this city and that city, and that's it. I'm only gonna stick to the higher up ones like Hilton, IHG, Choice, and Marriott. I think was the other one that I don't know if I'm gonna do Marriott or not quite yet, but I might, maybe I have to get those 3 tiers done. Might. The general idea is you get a lot of perks out of the deal if you take the time to get up to top tier. You get like free breakfast days, and you get all sorts of points. So half the time you can stay twice and pay 2 paid stays 2 different times and get a third one free if you're a top tier member, because you're there a lot. Stuff like that, and overall it would help down the line. And I'm considering going back into expediting through Load One or whatever one I sign on with, because regular boring van life is getting old. Don't get me wrong, I love van life back in the day when, before COVID, when you could go to a library or a mall or go hang out in a park and nobody said nothing to you. But with COVID, there's places you go. There's been quite a few times where I stopped at like a shopping center that was empty, and the cop would come butler you and say you can't do that. You can't be here with or without a mask. You can't be loitering around when nobody's around you. And then in a park once, and then up in Miles City, I had the game warden come around at the river and tell me I couldn't be there after 8 o'clock at night, even though nobody else was there, and I definitely can't be fishing with or without a license. And I'm like, who am I going to infect? The fish? This whole COVID thing is just stupid, in my opinion. It's both good and bad. It's allowed me to live pretty much the whole last year on almost expediting income from unemployment. So money wise, it's been pretty good, but I don't know. I'm kind of iffy whether or not I would. If you had a choice of COVID with lots of money given to you for not doing anything, or no COVID and out there working and whatever, the regular life, at this point, I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know which one I'd pick. The money's always nice, but money comes and goes. Yeah, and it just, this whole year, it feels like I spent the majority of the time in the van, and it's just getting to me. It's almost like the van is becoming a jail cell, literally, because I can't go anywhere or do anything. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, before COVID, I could go to a movie theater or a mall or library or go hang out with all sorts of friends and stuff like that, and nobody worried about doing anything. Nowadays, I'm getting fat in the cheeks and I'm getting fat in the gut now and everything because I'm not doing anything. I'm just literally hanging around in my van. I wouldn't say I'm scared. It's just, it defeats the point of going out there and walking or running or doing other things off by yourself when you have to wear a mask. Just today, for instance, I'm on the fourth floor of this hotel, 4 flights up, and yeah, I'm a little bit out of shape from the weight that I've added on. But I was really huffing and puffing through the mask, and it just, with nobody around and everything. To me, it's kind of pointless to wear a mask, in my opinion, unless it's a full-on respirator mask that you use to spray car paint onto cars detailing service with, or a gas mask or something. Those ones with a full-on respirator built into them, those ones is what we should have. These cloth masks are literally just for looks, in my opinion. They don't serve any real purpose. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, you might be able to prevent somebody else from catching something, but I think mostly it's just to prevent your breathing. But it all comes down to the government had to come out with this, terrifying virus, and so they had to turn around and say, but you can do this and this and that and this to prevent it. And by the way, you wear a mask and you can prevent it. Because they had to assure the American people some way or another, to avoid panic in the streets or whatever, but it's just stupid. And then people, I watched a video on YouTube the other day about some commissioner meeting in Florida, hearing both sides of it, the people who don't want to wear a mask, period, and then the people who do want to wear a mask, and it was just, one guy stood up and said that we shouldn't be muzzled like a dog, and it's our right to not have a mask, and blah, 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 blah. He just sounded totally stupid on his end. But at the same time, I watched a woman come up to that thing, and she was wearing a mask, and she said if it was up to her, she wouldn't even mind wearing a mask indefinitely, forever, if it was, for the safety of others. And both of those opinions, in my opinion, are just way too far left, way too far right. People just need to live in a normal society. And then I seen Nancy Pelosi on the video today, and she said some 41-year-old senator in Congress who was gonna be in Congress, I guess. He ran and got the ticket. He died today, and he had 2 kids and a wife. 41 years old. Who knows if that's true or not. And this virus affects different people different ways. But I don't want to jinx myself one way or another and getting it or not. But in my opinion, it's no better or worse than the flu. They say you can get, if we get to 70% herd immunity by using the virus or the vaccines, we will get past this point, and I for one, want to wait until we pass the 70% before I would ever consider getting vaccinated, because this kind of vaccine is different than previous vaccines we've had in the past. Previous vaccines work off of taking a small version of the virus and putting that in your body and then letting your immune system overtake it. This vaccine, they inject you, and it's supposed to change your DNA along with other things, and it's just, supposedly it's a man-made virus, and then somehow going to be counteracted by a man-made vaccine. I don't know, it's a different world we live in today. But I just thought I want to make an update on where I'm at and what I'm doing. That's going to be my first couple weeks of New Year's, I guess, is going to be using some of the government money to up my status in the hotels. The idea being, down the line, when I go back to expediting, I could use having frequent stays for the IHG program. And I gotta start somewhere sometime. And according to them, right now they don't have the thing until after I go to this vacation timeshare thingy. But after I get 7 nights in, so I'm the next level tier up, then they can put me to the second highest or the highest on status match over in like probably, I don't know, a month or something by the time it gets all done. And then it will be worth it because I can get the free upgrades and stuff when you go into the hotel. They're a lot more lenient with you. You can check in early, you can check out late, you can get free upgrades, you can get all sorts of points. Like I said, you can stay twice and get a free night on the third stay and stuff like that. So in the end, when you count it and you do it frequently enough, I mean, if a person who stays at a hotel once or twice a year, it's not worth it all that much to join their rewards program. But if you stay there 20 times a year, especially if you could skip past their 55 night qualification to get to top tier, and you only have to spend 10 or 15 nights to get to that point, then it's worth it. Because once you have the top tier status, all you got to do is maintain. Most of the programs you got to maintain 7 to 10 nights a year to maintain that status. And so you're talking, let's say $50 to $100 a stay. So I'm gonna make the math easier. Let's say it's $100 a stay, so times 10 would be $1,000 within the whole entire year, though, that you spend at the hotel to maintain the status. You got 12 months to spend that, and so you figure stay at a hotel once a month, and you can maintain the status. And if you do the math, it adds up, and you can get a whole hell of a lot of savings, because those 10 nights, you probably get about 3 nights extra free. On top of other stuff, you get like free breakfast places that don't normally offer free breakfast. At a full service restaurant like this one has, it would get free breakfast off of it if it was top tier and so on. You get extras that other people don't get. And then occasionally comes along a vacation offer like what I got to start with here. That's at $200 I put down on it. 4 nights in a hotel, and they have catering come in with food and stuff during the day. And I listened to all those talks and whatnot, and she swore up and down, the representative on the phone swore up and down, it has nothing to do with the hotels. The hotel just hosts it, so either way, I don't have to buy timeshares or nothing. I just go there and listen to the boring talks of the timeshares and, basically pig out on free food. I'm looking forward to crab legs and stuff like that. Just saying. I mean, ain't doing nothing else right now. Why not? Why not go check it out? And then they're going to do a bus tour of the island and so on, like I told you already in the video. But that's my plans, just mostly to try to get myself out and, I don't know, away from the van. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of tired of van life and the way that van life is turned into. And I was driving the other day, and I like the driving part of it. Man, if I could just drive all the time like that and I could afford to do it, I wouldn't mind spending a couple times fueling up a day and driving those miles. So it'd be like 500 or 600 miles a day. And I got to thinking I should probably just go back to expediting, since I like all that driving. The driving would be paid for, and I could go all over the country like I was doing. Maybe if the virus didn't get you down to 1 load a week, hopefully if the industry's doing better, everybody says it's doing better. Might be. I don't know. I'm torn on doing that because it increases my chances of getting COVID, because you have to interact with everybody everywhere. Yeah, so there's that. But then the money's good, and if it was back to being busy, the money's good at like $1,000 a week as a driver for a fleet owner. If the money is that good. Right now, it used to be. And mostly I'd be doing it just to get the paid travel around the country and to do something, because I'm getting, I hate to say it, but I'm just getting fatter and getting out of shape, and I don't appreciate it because I'm getting short-winded as I walk down the hallway, out of wind. And I know it's not healthy for me. But, hey, basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, I think I spent the majority of 2020 on like this prolonged government vacation. Of course, we all kind of have, but income-wise, I've made a lot off of the stimulus and the unemployment, and then that 2 months worth of working for Roadrunner. So when I go to file, I'm gonna have a lot on that. But it's been a interesting year. The other thing I want to take up is apparently the United Kingdom has come out with a different version of the virus that it may or may not be counteracted by the vaccine. So I don't know if the news media is trying to come up with COVID-21 now, or who the hell knows. But this video's getting pretty long. I just thought I would check in with you all. Like and subscribe, leave comments, and we'll catch you in a flip. Peace.